Hello, my sweet, darling human angel babies. Today we're gonna look at mixers. Look, I got like 4 mixers, and we're gonna look at all of them. Circuit stuff. Like and subscribe. So let's start with this one because it's real simple and very typical. This is from AI Synthesis, who make great sort of DIY modules and list all their schematics and stuff online. And the guy's super helpful if you email him or post on Reddit. He's very active on the forums, you know. Abe something. Abe, then his last name starts with I. I think that's where AI Synthesis comes from. Anyway, shut up about it. Talk about the circuit. Basically, these 3 resistors, that one's 100K probably, even though it doesn't say it. These 3 resistors, if we just looked at those, we had like an input, 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 and then they connected at the other end. That is a passive mixer. That's the minimum that you need to mix stuff together. It's just really 2 resistors if you want 2 channels. But you know, we want buffering, we want lower output impedance. This is gonna jack up our impedance huge unless we put these amps in there. So, you know, we want volume controls, we want stuff, so we gotta expand. Anyway, this is, by the way, three channels, obviously. And then, you know, this is just a volume. This goes down to ground. Normal ass volume knob before that mixer network that I just mentioned. But you could duplicate as many of these channels as you want, and it should work just fine, right? You could have 100 channels going into just these 2 op amps, and that'll be fine. Yeah, so we have an inverting amp here. This cap is in the non-inverting. This is like in the negative feedback loop. I don't know why he put it up there. It should be like, it's in parallel with this and that. Now this big pink arrow is pointing to 100K pot. This is basically our master volume knob. That's going to turn up the volume of everything. Yep. And then, like I said, it's inverting. So we have an inverted copy of it coming into another inverting stage. And this is a gain of 1. So we're not going to get any louder here. If you wanted to, you got to mess with probably just mess with the value of this one right here. And you can get different gains out of it. Yeah, these 47 puff caps are really just there to filter out very high frequencies, because sometimes op amps will like oscillate at even sometimes at like super hearing frequencies. That's not the word. Whatever, too high for people to hear. It'll be above 20K hertz, and these will clear that out. And some high end, and some stuff you can hear probably. I didn't do the math on the filters, but whatever. This is 330 R or ohm resistor is a little lower than typical. You'd more commonly see 1K, but that's fine too. That's, you know, you want it to be, you have a resistance here, and have it be basically very low, and 330 is good. Yep, that's about all that's to be said about this. This is a very similar circuit from Music from Outer Space. That's Ray Wilson's designs. Rest in peace, bro. I don't know what this is. It's this J2 and then like ground and this weird thing. I don't know what's going on with that. It looks like maybe it's normaling. Like if you plug something into 1, then it gets normal to 2, and then 2 gets normal to 3, etc. But I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Something like that. Yeah, and then we have basically the same idea. We have a pot going to ground that's like a volume knob. Doesn't have a value specified, but I would imagine, you know, maybe it's similar to 30K, or maybe it's just 100K. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. We got, again, resistor network going into a... And this, by the way, this is different, right? That's 30K. Over here is 100K, I believe. No big deal, though, because, you know, hitting our op amps, that's going to be effectively infinite impedance anyway, so whatever. no volume knob here. And then we have 10K and 10K. That's different values, but because they're the same value, that does make this op amp, again, a gain of 1, just like this one is, right? Even though, you know, the resistance is 10x, the ratio is the same. So, and then this is also funny. This 100 puff cap is just to filter out those potential oscillations that I mentioned. And there isn't one over here, which I guess makes sense because, you know, if it's oscillating here, then it'll get filtered out there too. But my instinct would be to do it on both, though, just because of what guitar dudes would call tone suck. Just, you know, just like the existence of that oscillation anywhere can mess with the frequencies that you do like. So, yeah. Anyway, we got a 1K output resistor. Like I said, that's a little more common. The AI synth does 330. Is there anything else to say? Oh, I will say this is kind of, I don't fully understand why it's two inverting stages, especially if it's like a gain of 1. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't just do a single non-inverting stage. It is my understanding that those are slightly more prone to the oscillations that this cap is there to address. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I did a mixer like this in Eurorec format, which is not available for sale anymore. Maybe I'll do another one soon. But, I did the dual inverting stages, but mostly because, you know, I just looked online and that's what all the people that were smarter than me were doing. So if you know why, if you can explain that, leave a comment. I would love for somebody smarter than me to explain why you wouldn't want to just use one amp. Yeah. Cool. All right. Oh, you know what's cool? This is cool. This is a little fun power trick. So, this little diode ring is, first of all, that's also the same structure in a ring modulator. That's where the ring comes from in that term, in that word, whatever. This is kind of cool. This is not a ring modulator, but it's the same diode ring or whatever. So what this is like reverse voltage correction. Not even protection, but correction. Because if we're expecting to see the negative voltage on pins 9 and 10 and the positive voltage on pins 1 and 2, and then obviously all the middle is ground, a negative voltage will come in and it will not flow through this one because it's a negative voltage. So diodes, act in reverse from what you'd expect. So it will flow through this one, and then we get our negative voltage down here, just like we want, right? But if we were to plug this in backwards, and positive voltage was down here, the diodes would do the opposite, right? This is blocking now, and the positive voltage can flow through here. So it ends up sending, no matter what you plug in here, it gets sent the right way. And the same goes for this top part, right? But in reverse. Or not in reverse, in exact copy, I should say. Yeah, so that's fun. That's cool voltage protection. That's nice, And the rest of this is pretty typical, so we're going to move on. All right, Ken Stone's got a couple of cool variations on that same idea. This is all the same stuff, inverting amp into another one. The second one has our master volume. But check this out. We have like another little mixer network that only comes into the second stage. So it only gets inverted one time here. So this guy will be inverted and then inverted a second time. Whereas this only gets inverted once, once it hits here. This guy, well, we'll get there. Yeah, let's see. This is 50K, this is 47K, so that's almost a gain of 1. So we have our normal out, which will have, this will be non-inverted, this will be inverted on that one. And then we have this guy, and this structure right here is just a DC offset of negative voltage, and then it hits an inverting thing, so it's actually ends up being a positive DC offset that you add to the whole mix, the whole dang thing. So this is not gonna amplify whatever you're putting in there, it just moves it up and down in our DC biasing, right? So useful for control voltages and stuff. Not so useful for audio. Yep, and that's kind of cool. Is 220K. I wonder why he's using, why this one's 50K over here, but it's 220K here. And this one's 50K too. I'm rounding, but you know. Anyway, so yeah, and then that inverted DC whatever stuff gets added to output 2, but this is inverted from output 1. So now instead of this being non-inverted, this is inverted, and this is non-inverted on output 2. So that's cool. You get a lot of stuff out of these 3 outputs, you know. Because yeah, then we get the same idea over here. Everything's flipped around. And I don't know what OFFS and CTR stand for. I think CTR is what football players get when they smack their heads too much, right? Oh, here's a Farad bead. That's another type of voltage protection, but I'm trying to not get into, let's not get into that. Here we go. This is another variation on the mixer idea. This looks way more complicated than it is. It's just a lot of repetition. This is a matrix mixer. And if you don't know what that is, it's got, like, let's say we have 5 inputs, and it would also have 5 outputs. So each input would have 5 different volume knobs to send that input to the 5 different outputs that you have. So it's like a mixer of mixers, you know, and that's cool for a lot of stuff with modular. You know, you can do all kinds of weird signal routing stuff with it, obviously. For, you know, audio engineer people, this would be good for doing sends and returns, right? Because if you got your, you know, you throw a guitar into input 1, then you can send it out of mix 1 to a delay or something, and then bring the wet signal of the delay into input 2, and then you have your, you know, send and return style delay sends, and you can send, you know, however many instruments you want. Yeah, this is, it looks like a lot is going on, but it really is just this repeated a billion times. Right, we have an input, volume knob, passive mixer thing, active amps. And if we look at this, we got an input, oh, hello, scroll that way. Input, volume knob, passive in air quotes, mixer network, right, with these guys. And then it looks like what he's doing is the PDIL in whatever the hell is like some secret routing stuff so that this mess of green wires didn't get even messier by connecting them to the dual inverting amp stages, just like we had on the other guys, right? And this is, yeah, 100Ks all around, unity gain, blah, 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 B out AL, and then you got your outputs over here. Oh, and this is funny. This is also AI synthesis like the first one we looked at. It's also by Abe. Abe, what's his name? Oh, that one too. But it's funny, he used 1K output resistors here and used 330 on that one. That's funny. No big deal either way. 1K is more common. Yeah, but you get the idea. It's just, you know, it's like a half dozen of these all scrambled together. Yeah. And then, let me see. This one is basically the same as the first guy. I think he calls it the West Coast version of a... Is that what it is? I forget what he called, what this module is called. But it's the same idea, right? It comes in, and this is like this is kind of a funny, like, I want to call it a differential pair of, a pair of differential pairs. I haven't really seen this differential pair within a differential pair. I'm not familiar with that circuit. But you have that wrong. This is the bias knob, and then we have a volume knob here. That's interesting. I wonder what that is. Maybe that's like in a fuzz face, the bias knob has like some tonal, like timbral qualities to it. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know what that is. But, you know, you get the concept of a mixer is not really affected by this. So we have our mixer, and then we have some kind of amp that I don't understand, and an output. Ooh, 100. I guess it's not strictly 150R because we got all kinds of weird stuff going on over here. Whatever, you get the idea. Mixers. Here's your basics. You get the that, and then we get sort of like that. Okay, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Like and subscribe! I'm gonna yell at the end of all of these now.
Like and subscribe. You idiot. Like and subscribe. You idiot. Like. I don't use Twitter. Subscribe. But I'm on the other things. You can follow me on Instagram or something. I don't really post over there though. You idiot. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like it. Like and subscribe. You look good, babe. You look really good. Were you told what to wear? Or how to cut your hair? One must never underestimate the power of a good hairdo. Like and subscribe. Click on the goddamn clicky things. Subscribe. Nice. Click them. I'm almost 40. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe for the culture. You gotta like it. Come on. Oh, click it. Thumbs up. Click them. Or whatever button. Just click on the thing. Click on. Hey man. Hey, I know we're doing a song, but this is like, I need you to click on the, you know what you need to do. I need you to click it though. Just click. Just do it. It's gonna be great. It's the beginning of a beautiful partnership between you and me. We're gonna be friends for life.